Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja's controversial school feeding program dubbed Dish in a County is mired in financial discrepancies and cannot account hundreds of millions of shillings, amounting to 145 million shillings, donated by the French government towards the school feeding initiative.
Good morning.
Effectively, the operations, management and financial accountability of the Dish in a County program has been put into question after it emerged the entity is run without any framework and the money is channeled through donation of the 5 shillings charged to every kid taking part in it are deposited in a privately owned farm.
I want to ask all counties what Sakaja is doing in Nairobi County. I want to ask all our county governors to participate in this program of school feeding. I made a commitment in our manifesto. I remember talking to this girl, Pongezi Sana Wawira, you are great. When I met you, I told you, this kitchen, we're going to work together. And I'm happy, Sakaja, you have lived up to that promise.
The shocking revelations that have potentially thrust the much publicized program into possible financial impropriety were made by the Health Committee Executive Committee member of Health and Nutrition, Susan Silantoi, while appearing before the Select Committee on Health and Nutrition at the Nairobi County Assembly to give a full report of the Dish in a County initiative.
So you have a donor. I will give you an example. We have a donor called CHEB who gives us to the tune of $1 billion in healthcare. Where does that funding go? They pay people directly, they give services directly, they buy commodities directly, and they supply for our facilities.
I'll need some advice from Cheke Mwaura and...
The CEC was also unable to explain why kids pay 5 shillings each and why the money is not deposited to the account opened by the county but directly to the account by Food for Education, a privately owned company, thus rendering the same difficult to account for. Further, the committee established that donations and money appropriated by the county are paid directly to Food for Education, a sole proprietor who got the tender to make the meals and supplies to the Nairobi public school children. Health Committee Chairman and Mountain View MCA Maurice Ochieng questioned the criteria that the county used to establish only 25,000 kids were the ones unable to pay the 5 shillings that the children pay before getting the meals daily.
From the CEC, whether the committee can confirm that what was said are the real facts. Told the committee that there was a bank account which was open and there is no fund in that account. They have never deposited any money for that account. Yet, as a Nairobian and a chair of the health, we saw the governor with a French ambassador when he pledged for 1 million euros, which translates to 144 million Kenya shillings.
A Food for Education Chief Executive Officer Wawira Njiru told the committee that the 1 billion euro donation by the French government to support the program was paid directly to the account, raising an alarm on why the county opened an account for the Dish in a County program, yet it was dormant. Wawira revealed, quote-unquote, we received money from the French government for the 25,000 children that we had proposed meals for, which is 1 million euros. The rest of the money is not for Nairobi. We have many donors everywhere who contribute daily to help implement the program in other counties, end of quote.
So we have received money for the 25,000 children that we are to provide school meals for, which is the 1 million euros. From the French government. The rest of the money is not specifically for Nairobi County, it's for the entire country. As I said, we subsidize meals across Kenya.
However, today, while appearing before the Senate Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations in Machakos, Governor Sakaja denied the claims, saying that donation was made to Food for Education to support the school feeding program, including in Nairobi, and the money was not paid directly to the Nairobi City County government.
I'd really ask that costing is done. But also, at the Senate, when you stand to protect counties, this notion that there is stealing in counties without facts is also what you must protect against. Because there's an idea that you think governors just sit and have drawers of billions and they're just, taking money. What about stealing elsewhere? Look, you're talking about 50% of the budget, look at 85. No stealing is justified, none of it is. But how you kill devolution is first give it a bad name. You know, the 5 shillings actually is for ownership. If you give something for free, people will abuse it. It's just for their ownership and for them to be part of it. It's not because we can actually do it for free, but people must own it, and people must also not see that we are glorifying poverty. You know, you shouldn't do that. That parent must work hard to also look for that 5 shillings. So that's why we're telling them pay 5 shillings. Initially, the feeding program that was there, it was Mukara Primary by Food for Education. The amount was between 15 and 20 shillings, you know, that the parents would pay. There are many other funders. The Children Investment Foundation Fund, CIF, are supporting it. CIF also the one supporting CHPs across the country. But and the parents feel proud loading that M-Pesa for 5 shillings. And you know, part of what the success is, Nairobi has hustlers who wake up in the morning, they don't know where they're going to get work. They go to eat at Mjengo, or they go eat outside the house to be Mamafua, to wait to be called. She might be called or not. But you know, the relief these people have that whether or not I'm called for the Mjengo, or whether or not I get to Fua, my children have eaten.
Sakaja claimed, quote-unquote, let us not politicize the Dishina County school feeding program. This program continues to improve the nutritional status of the children and also encourages students to attend school, leading to an increase in enrollment, performance, and transition to higher levels of education. End of quote. Dishina County was launched in 2023 with the groundbreaking of 10 kitchens across the county, with the first meal served on 28th August 2023. The special purpose account for the school feeding program was opened at a local bank, with Chief Officer for Health, Wellness, Nutrition and School Feeding Irene Muchoki being the signatory. Further, it was established that the regulations were put in place for the policy framework and legal guidelines to legitimize the 5 shillings that every kid has been paying is yet to be approved by the Assembly, even though they have given it to the government printer for printing. This is against the set guidelines, as the relevant committees at the Assembly need to go through it before the county legal team approves and then takes it for printing. This casts doubt on the fund's accountability, with the Health Committee calling for proper and transparent management of the program. In September 2023, the French government donated €1 million to help the county build kitchens for the program and also pay for kids unable to pay the 5 shillings that is charged per meal.